This week on Rock Doc.
You could see his brilliance early on. Like the way he folded his socks. You know, most people would fold their socks by colors, and he folded his socks by thickness. He was brilliant like that. I miss him.
We were in band in 6th grade together, and it was funny. I remember it specifically because he was so bad at the woodwind instrument that he was trying out for that the teacher, just so he could have that participation credit, gave him a kazoo, which, I mean, given his accomplishments later in life, that's kind of hilarious.
I remember the first night seeing him. A couple hot blondes and I were down at the old punk bar down there off of Woodward, the Twisted Penis, and was listening. Not really too wrapped up in anything. I was more interested actually in the two hot blondes. And all of a sudden over my shoulder I could hear this kazoo. It was like something I'd never heard before. He just commanded the room with that kazoo. You could tell early on he was a musical genius.
Have you ever looked into the eyes of a newborn that wasn't yours? Just knew that as a gift to the world, but still didn't really give a shit? That's what I got from his kazoo playing. Like, it was just a gift that everybody loved and cared about, but in the end,
he just wasn't appreciated. Not like Akon. 8 million people he gives power to. Big deal. Shawn provided kazoos to every single person on the continent of Africa.
Yeah. Dude won a Global Peace Award for doing that. It was a little bit different, but I mean, nonetheless, still an accomplishment. But I guess I'm still kind of baffled by the fact World Peace Award for kazoos. That's Shawn. That's Shawn for you.
I had hope. I had hope that, you know, things were eventually going to settle down, you know, with those crazy kazoo players and rocking out. He met Hannah. I called Hannah his Priscilla, his Yoko.
If there was anybody that could get him to stop this crazy, absolutely mental lifestyle that he was living, it would have been her. But, I mean, we all know how stubborn Shawn was, so I guess it makes sense how that all ended, but...
The first day I met Shawn, he had walked into rehearsal. I saw this drunk, messy looking guy walk in, then he walked back out. I finished up my rehearsal, and when I walked outside, he was playing the most beautiful sounding kazoo that I've ever heard.
Just picture this for me really quick. We are 7 sheets to the wind, completely out of our minds at this point. And Shawn, you know, being the guy that he is, let's go find the strippers, man. Let's just go. We gotta find it. So we're stumbling around. We're on like 48th and something. And we hit this corner and we see this dance studio. I think it was like Studio 1218 or something like that. And he just immediately walks in. That's just who Shawn was, you know. Just walks in, starts just trying to throw money because he has it, obviously, you know. He became a fucking rock star. So he walks in, and it turns out it is not an exotic club at all.
So when Shawn had initially walked into the studio, he thought he was walking into a strip club. He thought I was a stripper, and soon found out that I was a professional ballerina. But as a little inside joke, he would always write me love notes on the back of dollar bills. It was not my favorite, but it was a cute little thing that he did.
But he was good-natured, and I think you've seen that in the Tell-All book, you know, Humming Inside You. He opened up. He talked about everything. The good, the bad, the Flonase addictions. He put it all out on the table. He was solid. He was an innovator.
his Boomerang League was something else. Like, at first he brought this up, out of the blue one day that he wanted a new outdoors sport, and he wanted something where he didn't have to move too much, but still get some kind of action out of it, maybe some kind of thrill. And I thought he was crazy, but the motherfucker started a boomerang league.
And he was competitive. Boy, he hated to lose at anything. He tried to set the record for longest blowing on a kazoo. And he tried, and he tried, and he tried. And, well, of course, everyone knows the story, how he almost blew his lungs out. It was sad afterwards. That effort he put into blowing the kazoo just spiraled. Physically, every time you talk to him, the damage to his lips and lungs, he'd always have to like this. And psychologically, I think it just tormented him to be able to know that he was never going to be able to talk right again.
Our relationship came to an end. He was far too interested in the rock star lifestyle. He partied all the time. He had addictions. He used so much nasal spray. I mean, I noticed it right away because no human can have that many colds. I'm sorry. This is too hard. I can't do this. I thought I could. I just want to go home.
I could never understand some of his quirks and oddities. He had this fascination with the movie Deer Hunter in the scene where they played Russian roulette. He often talked about doing that. I tried telling him, you can't use a semi-automatic pistol when you're playing Russian roulette. You need a revolver. He just didn't understand.
So, if there's one thing that I've learned so far, throughout all of this and all that I've been through, it's not about who you touch or where, but it's about how you touch them. And you know what? Do you want to know something? Between me and you, and everyone else who's going to see this, I'm gonna touch them now. Hey, you.
Yeah.